Hey guys, welcome back. And it is October, and typically here in Ohio, the last mow we have to do for the season is typically around mid-October, late September, something like that. And that's kind of where we're at, and the weather's pretty nice today. Now, I've been kind of dealing with this for about a year and a half, where I've been basically just using a screwdriver and jumping the starter solenoid. But I think some of the internals in that have gone bad now, and it actually keeps it from staying running. So I'm actually going to go ahead and make that change before go ahead and put the last mow on for the season. So I'm gonna go ahead and get to that. I don't think it's gonna be too big of a job, but there might be a little bit of a wiring job I have to do too. What's going on is there were a couple other things on my dash going bad. The ammeter wasn't working and the hour meter were not working. So uh, I don't know if something else is going on or if it just gets fed power through the solenoid or something. So we'll replace the solenoid and see where we're at. All right, guys. So as I said here, I got my ammeter and my hour meter here. Both of these have been basically reading blank pretty much all season, I think. So like I said, I don't know if the power for this passes through the solenoid. So I'll change this and then we'll just see if it comes on. If it doesn't, I've already checked the fuses in it, so I don't think those are the problems. So I'm not sure what's going on. Now this does either get stored outside or in a shed, so there's always the risk of mice chewing up wiring. But I don't really see anything going on except for down here, where this is basically the wiring harness for my headlights. So you kind of see how that's kind of chewed up and stuff. And I'll probably replace that, but that shouldn't be causing any of the problem with those things. So I don't know. So we'll go ahead and replace the solenoid and see what's going on here. So let's get started. So I am going to, I don't know, see what size I need here to take these two nuts here off the top right here. So we can go ahead and get these wires disconnected. I put this one on there and it feels pretty good. It's a number 11 metric socket. So let's give her a try. I'll try to keep this all organized somewhat, I hope. It is an impact, so I'm not going to go too crazy on it. Remember this cable, set it there. There we go. Save that one without it falling down this time. This will be our battery cable from the battery. So the first one I did was the cable that probably goes to the starter. Yep, it goes directly to the starter. So that's the one in the front. The battery one's on the back. Let's look at the new part here. Okay, so I don't think these have to come off. We'll just leave those. And I think we'll just be able to pry these wires right off. So I'm going to remember the two black ones that go on the front. I want the two black wires coming out of it, and the white one is in the back. So let's see. There is another little nut on the back side here, and it's smaller than a number 11. I think that'll work. This is probably a 10. Yep, 10. See if we can't just zip that out. And then the replacement for this should be almost almost done if I can get around here. If not, I'm gonna have to use a socket. I'm sorry, use a ratchet, which is exactly what I'm gonna have to do. So let me grab a socket, ratchet wrench, whatever you want to call it, and we'll get this out. All right, guys. So now we're back with our 3/8 ratchet here. I'm gonna go ahead and get on this 10mm bolt back here. You know, while I'm doing this, I keep hearing wildlife out in the woods. I always wonder what's walking behind there. For how long this bolt is. And I probably have a swivel somewhere to where I could have used a drill on this, but there we go. It's finally coming out. I wish I would have changed this back when it first started, but you know, when you can jumper it with a screwdriver, it's just so easy to put it off because it's not really anything. Okay, so there's the old part, new part. Get it lined up right. There's basically just a little nub here. This nub just fits inside this little hole right there. And that puts it in position there. Like I said, this shouldn't be a complicated repair here. Hopefully. Okay, let's go ahead and put this bolt back in on the back side. Probably want to feed it through with just the socket here to start with. Maybe. Or that might happen. Okay. Just have to line it up manually here. Get this out of the way. Okay, so if I remember properly, white one goes on the back, one of these little friction connectors here. Double black one on the front. And now I have to take these off. So this new one has washers on it, little lock washers. I don't see anything on the old ones, so. The battery wire on there. And like I said, I got 2 fuses in there, and I've downloaded the electrical schematic for this, and it seems to be all there is. So, yeah, lock washer on there. That we'll tighten it up, and we'll see what it does. I think I have battery power still, so I'm going to be able to try to start it by key, but we will see. Okay. Keep it from spinning all the way out there. All right, get the boots back on, because I won't be having to jumper this with a screwdriver anymore. Hopefully, right? All right. Okay, so let's try the key in this and see what happens. See if we got anything back. It should start if I have battery power, but let's see. Or at least it should turn over. I may need to make sure I have everything done here. Do I have the parking brake on? Do I have the blades disengaged. Okay, so I'm not getting anything here, so it tells me that my battery's probably dead now. What I'm going to do is grab my jump pack, assuming everything's connected here still. All right, let's grab the jump pack and see what happens, see if we can't get this thing to turn over. So we've got the jump pack here. Get a little excitement going here. And this thing's fully charged, so as long as we're getting a connection, something should happen here. Still nothing. Let me look here. Yeah, we must just not be getting a good connection here, because this should be totally doing something. Because even if it doesn't turn over, it should be spinning at least. Unless it's been so long since I've ran this thing that I forgot how to do it all. All right, let's sit down on it. I think it's a neutral. Blades are disengaged. And we got nothing. Alright guys, so as you can see, the first thing I did not fully fix the problem. Decided to go in and do some deeper investigation on this. As you can see, well, let me tell you what I did. So I went ahead and took the top off the engine here, cleaned the air filter out. None of that was the cause of the problem, but I just wanted to go ahead and just get a little deeper in there and go ahead and try to figure some things out. I unplugged the harness from some of our gauges up here. I got my tester out, and my electrical tester, went ahead and checked out, pulled the ignition switch out, checked it in all the positions to make sure it was closing circuits at the right time, and did all that. The ignition switch was working fine, so I went ahead and connected everything back up, cleaned up a lot of terminals and stuff, and when I turned the key to start it, it still would not start. So what I did, I knew there was one other thing that needed fixed. I don't know if I mentioned that earlier or not, but one thing that was going on was we had probably some mice. I mean, it could have been melted from the heat, but it's probably mice chewed up the lighting harness here. So I went ahead and re-spliced that all back together and taped over it back. Did heat shrink tape, and then I taped over it. Kind of got it positioned back in place there, so that was good. And what was in the harness was two negative wires and a positive wire. So I went ahead and put that back together, and I thought, well, just for kicks, let's go ahead and try to start this thing. And I turned the key on it, and with the jump pack on there, and it did actually spin the engine. So I'm thinking, what was going on there was a bad ground. The reason why I didn't check that to start with, because I was so surprised that at the very end of the harness would be where the ground would be attached to the engine, to the frame. I thought it'd be attached a couple different places, and definitely earlier than that. But so we got that going, and now that we know that the ignition switch does work, and it does seem like it turns the engine over, we're going to go ahead and try to do a startup here. So I got the jump pack attached to it because I took the battery out because I also thought it might be a problem. So I went ahead and tested it, put it hooked up to the charger, and it's testing pretty bad. It's less than 10.5 volts. So I'm going to replace that anyway, but went ahead and connected the jump pack to the cables here, and we will give this thing a turn. Okay, so as you can see, the engine is starting. Let me show you something else here real quick. So you notice that when I turn the key, I now have the hour meter and the ammeter going now. So those are now working again. But one thing you were kind of telling there was when I was trying to turn on the deck, it would like start to spin it and then almost kill the engine. So I think the only thing left to look at there is probably the electromagnetic clutch that engages that. I don't, if it's starting to turn it, I don't know why it acts like it's killing the engine. So that'll be the next place we check on that. So right now we got some things fixed. As far as driving this thing around, it can be started and run fine. So got some things cleaned out. I want to do some other various maintenance tasks like an oil change and potentially spark plug changes as well to try to get just try to get some maintenance done on this. But I still really want to do one more mow on this yard before the end of the year. Now today weather's good. I think the weather's gonna be good later next week, so hopefully we can get one more chance at it. So that'll be the next thing I try. So we'll be looking, like I said, at the electromagnetic clutch there and make sure the ground's good on that or whatever. But other than that, so yeah, we got some success here. The engine's working. We kind of know some things are working now that were kind of a mystery there before. But yeah, other than that, we'll just come back next time and maybe check that out. Unless we get some other cool project pop up, and then we'll just go ahead and do those too. So anyway, thanks for watching, guys, and we will catch you next time on Tractors, Trails, and Living Free. Guys, so I messed with it a little bit more, and I've got the engine RPMs all the way up to the top, and went ahead and tried to turn on the deck, and it looks like whether there's something going on with the clutch or not, right now the deck is running. So I don't really think it's fixed, but for right now it is working. So maybe we'll just go ahead and do a quick mow while we got it running and then just figure it out later. So again, we'll catch you next time on Tractors, Trails, and Living Free.